Hi everyone, this is Alok Patnia, Managing Partner at Tax Mantra Global. I have got Robin from my team, who's got years of experience in taxation and compliance. Today, in this webinar, we have come with a very strong, important topic, and that is what are the different compliances and due dates which are there at this time, which wherein we need to comply with those compliance. It includes various filings which are required, the revised due dates, the revised penalties, and if there are any interest. And in nutshell, if you attend this webinar, you will able to understand the complete compliances which you need to do in next 3 to 4 months at least. So with this, I welcome Robin. Robin, you can start and let's start with this webinar.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Today we are going to understand what are the changes in due dates and interest rate on delayed payment of taxes by the Ministry of Finance, and we are covering the couple of topics which includes new due dates for compliances under income tax law as well as the GST law. And apart from that, there are proposed interest rate on delayed payment of taxes. And there is a new scheme, PM Cares Funds, which will be available for deduction under Section 80G, and there are some specified corporate law compliances and its due dates that will also be covered in this session. Now, starting with the income tax law, there are several changes in the due date filing. Now, we will start with the ITR filing. Earlier it was due date 31st March 2020 for any belated return for relating to the assessment year 1920. Any belated return, any revised return, or any rectifications that was due date for the assessment year 1920 was 31st March 2020, which will be extended to the next new date, new proposed revised date, that will be the 30th June. You can file, you can revise, or you can file the belated return, or you can revise, or you can rectify your income tax return uh, for the financial year 1819 by 30th June, which was earlier date 31st of March.
So the earlier date for this was 31st of March. The new date is that till 30th of June you can actually go and file the return, right? Okay,
Correct.
okay.
Correct. Now coming into the TDS and PCS related compliances, uh, there are several due date. Now I come into the TDS filing rate, TDS filing return for the fourth quarter, whether it's be salary or other than salary, and through Form 24Q and 26Q. The due date for filing of TDS return earlier was 31st May 2020, which has been extended to 30th June 2020. Now, TDS statement in case of other than 24Q and 26Q, like 26QB, 26QC, and 26QD, it's nothing but TDS on rental property, TDS on sale of property. Those are covered under this section 26QB, 26QC, and 26QD. Earlier, it was monthly return for the month of February, March, and April, which due date was 31st March, 30th March, 30th April, and 30th May. Also extended till 30th June. Now coming into the next sections, the TDS certificate.
Robin,
Yeah,
please just also explain what is 26 QB and QC
yeah,
to our
26,
attendees.
yeah, 26 QB, form 26 QB, it's TDS on sale of property. TDS,
Okay.
sale of property, any tax deductor or any tax deductor deducting tax and needs to furnish TDS return through Form 26 QB. If any tax deductor having a deducted TDS on rent, TDS on rent, then it will be covered in the 26 QC. And
Okay.
20, yeah. And the next section is Form 16 and 16A, the TDS certificate, which was due date was 15th of June. It also has been extended till 30th June. Now we can generate TDS certificate for the Q4 period and for the financial year 1920 for through Form 16 or Form 16A by 30th June, which was
Okay.
earlier was 15th of June.
Okay.
And with regards to the Form 16B, 16C, and 16D, this is nothing but regarding the TDS certificate that we earlier discussed, that we are TDS, which is Form 16B and 16C relate to that certificate only. So earlier, Form 16B and 16C for TDS certificate for the month of March and April, which was earlier date was 15th May and 14th June. Now it has been extended to the 30th June.
Okay.
So, and now coming into the TCS statement filing. TCS filing for the quarter Q4 and TCS certificate that also be Q4 period. So both were due date 15th of May. Now it has been also extended to the 30th June.
Okay.
And Form 24Q by an office of the government. This is basically filing written by the government for any TDS deducted by the government office, government deductor. So they needs to prepare a return and file the return within the specified due date. The all individual the month of March, April, and May. Now all together it's coming extended to the 30th June.
There is a small block on the screen. Is this you can also see? Yeah, yeah. Can you remove this? Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What's that? If you can remove it further.
Okay. So
Yeah.
uh, moving into the next sections, there's a making investment or completing construction purchase of asset which were earlier claiming under section which are earlier claiming deduction under section 54 to 54 GB covered under the capital gains. That was earlier due date was 20 for the financial year 1920. Earlier due date was 20 May to 29 June. Now it has been extended to the 30th June.
Okay.
Or any tax savings investment like LIC, PPF, EPF, or anything like that, which was for the financial year 1920, the due date was 31st of March. Now it has been also extended to the 30th June for the financial year 1920.
So you're saying for the financial 1920, I can still make a tax investment till 30th June, and it will be still be regarded under 1920, right?
Correct, correct, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Now, furnishing of the statement of financial transaction, that is a SFT filing, that specified transactions that we are need to every corporate or any individual if they are liable to furnish the return for the financial year 1920. Earlier it was due date was 31st May, which has been now extended to the 30th June 2020.
Okay.
And documents due for filing till 31st March 2020 under Vivad Se Vishwas SIM, which has been also extended to 30th June from the 31st March of 2020.
So basically, this scheme was brought in by the government in the financial year and in the finance bill. And the scheme is basically if you want to disclose, or if you want to, if there is any litigation which is pending, and if you want to pay the tax, then you will be waived off with interest and penalty. So this scheme has was brought in. Now earlier the due date was 31st of March, but that this has been extended to 30th June, and to my mind this will further get extended because of this lockdown, because SSCs have not been given the opportunity to explore the scheme yet.
Yes, sir. Correct. Moving to the next section, West Bengal PQ return has been extended for the financial year 1920 till 30th June, which was earlier 31st May of 2020. Filing of ESI return and payment for the month of February and March, which was earlier date was 15th of March and 15th of April respectively. It has been extended to the next 1 month. Suppose for the month of February, the due date was 15th March, which has been extended to the 15th of April. Similarly, for the month of March 2020, any payment or return under ESI schemes, which was original due date 15th of April, has been extended to the 15th of May. Filing of EPF return and payment for the month of March 2020 has been extended to the 15th of May from the 15th of April. So linking of Aadhaar number with PAN, the due date earlier was the 31st of March. Now it has been 30th of June. Moving into the new sections, the new interest rate on delayed payment of taxes. Any payment of advance tax with regards to relating to the financial year 1920, which was actual date 31st of March 2020. If there is any delayed payment till up to 30th of June, the interest rate should be the 0.75% instead of 1%. If such advance tax payment after 30th of June 2020, then the interest rate should be the 1%. In case of
Okay.
In case of payment of first installment of advance tax for the period Q1 relating to the financial year 2021, which actual date would be 15th of June 2020, if assessee make a payment before 30th of June, then he or she would be liable to make the payment of interest at the rate of 0.75%. If the such payment made after 30th June, then interest rate would be 1%. In case of tedious monthly payment for the month of March, the due date was 30th of April. For the month of April, the due date is 7th of May. For the month of May, the due date would be payment by 7th of June. If such payment, if any tedious payment is not made within the due date, but before 30th of June, the interest rate would be 0.75% instead of 1.5%. If those payments made after 30th of June 2020, then the interest rate will be the 1.5%. Regarding KCS equalization levy, STT and CTT liability payment, the due date would be the 7th of April and 7th of March and 7th of June for the month of March 20, April 20, and May 20 respectively. If the taxpayer make the payment within the due date, there will be the no interest rate. If the taxpayer won't able to make the payment within the due date, but make the payment before 30th of June, then the interest will be levied at a rate of 0.75%. If such payment made after 30th of June, then interest would be 1%. Payment of dividend distribution tax, dividend DDT, dividend distribution tax in respect of dividend declared, distributed or paid by any domestic or mutual funds. The actual date, according to the law, the actual due date would be the 14 days from the date of declaration, distribution, or payment of dividend, whichever is earlier. If such payment will be made on or before 30th of June, the interest rate would be 0.75%. Else, if the payment after 30th of June, then the interest rate would be the 1%. Now, moving into the next section, the new due dates for compliance in indirect tax laws. This is basically depends. This is basically the filing of GSTR forms. We are segregating in the three category based on the turnover limit. If such taxpayer having turnover limit less than 1.5 CR, there is the one category. If the taxpayer having a turnover limit more than 1.5 CR but less than 5 CR, there is a second category, and more than 5 CR of turnover, there will be the third category. If you can see the original due date for the month of April, for the month of February, March, April, May, it would be the 22nd of March and 24th of March for the month of February, depending on the states of the SSC. Because in case of West Bengal, the due date of filing of GST 3B for the month of February, it would be the 24th March. If the taxpayer belonging from Telangana or Maharashtra, then it would be 22nd of March for the month of February. So depending on the states, the original due date was mentioned in the presentations. So if you go to the original due date, you can see the revised due date. So, for the month of February, the due date was 22nd of March and 24th of March. Now, it has been extended to the 30th of June 2020. For the month of March, I'm talking about the GST 3B filings, which are done most of the monthly basis, and whose turnover less than 1.5 CR. If we're talking about GST return filing for the month of March 2020, the original due date was 22nd of April or 24th of April. Now it has been extended to the 3rd of July. For the month of April, the original due date was 22nd May, 24th May. The revised due date would be the 6th of July 2020. In case of May GST 3B filing, the earlier due date was 22nd of June or 24th of June. It has been now 12th of July or 14th of July. If the taxpayer who turnover more than 1.5 CR but less than 5 CR, their monthly GST 3B for the month of February, earlier date was 22nd of March or 24th March. Now it has been extended to the 29th of June. For the month of March, earlier due date was 22nd of April or 24th of April. Now it has been extended to the 29th of June. In case of April, the earlier due date was 22nd of May or 24th of May, as the case may be. Now it has been extended to the 30th of June 2020. Now we are talking about the May compliances, May GST filing, GST 3B filing, which due date was 22nd of June or 24th of June. Now it has been extended to the 12th of July or 14th of July based on the states of the taxpayers. In case of more than 5 crore cases, monthly filing will be there. Monthly filing will be there. In case of February, there is a due date 20 of March. In case of March, there will be the due date of 20 of April. In case of April, the due date would be the due date was 20 of May. The all together now it has been extended to the 24th of June. In case of May, GST 3B filing who having more than 5 crore CR or 5 crore turnover, Earlier, it was due date of 20th of June. Now it has been extended to the 27th of June. In case of furnishing of GSTR 1, uh, any taxpayer having less than 1.5 year turnover, they are and opting for the quarterly return for GSTR 1. The earlier due date was 30th of April. It has been extended to the 30th of June. In case of in case of turnover more than 1.5 CR, are opting for the monthly return. In case of that, return for the month of March, April, and May, which due date was were 11th of April, 11th of May, 11th of June. Now altogether it has been extended to the 30th of June. I hope clear to all. Is there any query?
No, Arvind, we can move ahead. We can have a Q&A session later. We can move ahead right now. I
Okay.
think Manish has a query. Just a second. Manish, I will just enable your. Just a second. Deepasis, you had a query? Hello? You are on mute. We can move ahead, Robin.
Okay. Now, moving into the next sections, furnishing of Form GSTR 99A, that is basically an annual return of GST. Uh, Taxpayer having sales or turnover limit less than 5 CR, uh, the annual GST annual audit or annual reporting for the related to the financial year 1890. Earlier due date was 31st of March. Now it has been extended to the 30th of June 2020. In case of reconciliation of the statement under the GST audit, which would be furnishing through the GST form GST 9C, there is a two scenario. If the taxpayer having turnover limit less than 5 CR for the financial year 1890, the due date was 31st of March 2020, but it is an optional whether the taxpayer needs to needs to prepare reconciliation statement and file the same. But it is not mandatory to file the same because having the turnover limit less than 5 CR. But in case of 5 CR limit, in case of 5 CR turnover limit for the financial year 1890, the GSTR 9C form should be furnished on or before 30th of June. Earlier, it was 31st of March. Furnishing of Form GSTR 5 and GSTR 5A by registered non-resident. Uh, this is applicable for the non-resident who are providing service under the OIDAR, Online Information Data Retrieval Accesses. This kind of taxpayers are needs to file this kind of returns, GSTR 5 and 5A. There is no turnover limit, but it was a monthly return filing for the month of February, March, April, and May. The due date would be the earlier due date was 28th of March, 28th of April, 28th of May, 20th of June. Now it has been extended to the 20th, 30th of June. Furnishing of GST 6 by an input service distributor. The due date filing for the month, the earlier due date for the month of March, April, and May would be 13th of April, 13th of May, and 13th of June. Now it has been extended to the 30th of June. Now, the taxpayer who are liable to furnishing of their return through GSTR 7 uh, and GSTR 8 who are covered under the e-commerce operator. The earlier due date was 10th of April, 10th of May, and 10th of June for the month of March, April, and May respectively. Altogether, those all have been extended to the 30th of June. Taxpayer opting for composition scheme through furnishing of Form CMP-02 under this scheme. Earlier, it was due date for the financial year 2021. Earlier, it was due date 31st of March. Now it has been extended to the 30th of June. Furnishing of Form CMP-08, that is done by the composition dealer, and GSTR-4. Earlier, it was known as the GSTR-4. Now it is known as the CMP-08 return. So quarterly return for the fourth quarter return, the due date was for 18th of April. Now it has been extended to the 7th of July. Similarly, GSTR-4 for the financial year 1920, the earlier due date was 30th of April, has been extended to the 15th of July. Now we are talking about some late fees and rate of interest on GST. Uh, that has been also notified by the GST Council and GST Ministry of Finance. It has been also categorized under three parts. A taxpayer having sales less than 1.5 CR. Uh, if any taxpayer who are having sales less than 1.5 CR for the month of February, March, April, if they return, if they file the return or make the payment before the due date, which are mentioned over there, 30th of June, 3rd of July, and 6th of July. This is all, please note, these are the all revised date, not the actual date uh, for the respective months. If any taxpayer able to make the payment of GST within this revised date, so in case of 1.5 CR less than turnover, he or any taxpayer would not be liable for rate of interest and late fees. In case of sales more than 1.5 CR but less than 5 CR for the month of February, March, and April, which revised date would be 29th of June and 30th of June. If they are able to make a payment within these due dates, then they are also not liable to pay interest and late fees. But late fees will be levied uh, in case of SSC who are having more than 5 CR turnover. Suppose in case in the for the month of February, the revised due date we have earlier discussed in the last slides. For the month of February, just a second. Yeah, for the month of February, the due date would be the revised due date would be the 26th of June. Now, yeah. Now you can see if the return furnished before or in between 20th of June to 4th July, 4th April, there will be no interest if any taxpayer are liable to make a payment in between 5th April to 24th June, there will be the 9% of interest and no late fees. In case of 25th of June onwards, the interest rate will be 18% per annum, and the late fees will be levied rupees 20 or 50 as the case may be. For the return period March 2020, if the taxpayer made the payment in between 28th April to 5th May, the rate of interest and late fees will be nil. If the taxpayer will able to make the payment in between 6 May to 24 June, the interest rate will be the 9%, but there will be no late fees. If the taxpayer make the payment after 25th of June, then interest rate would be 18% and the late fees will be the 20 or 50%. I will come up with some illustration in the next slide that will be clear to you that how we'll calculate the GST interest amount. Uh, there is a illustrations. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. There is a illustrations. We can see. Uh, there's a four category. Let's assume that such taxpayer is liable to file the GST return for the month of March, which due date would be the 28th of April. Hmm. So, if you see the illustration, you can see uh, uh, I- uh, I'll choose the taxpayer who having turnover more than 5 years because interest will be calculation on that part only. If any taxpayer having less than 5 year turnover, there will be no interest or the late fees will be there. So if the for the month of March, the GST filing, the due date for the GST tribute filing would be the 28th of April. Now, let us assume if such taxpayers file the return, the case number one. Now, let's assume that if the taxpayers file the GST return for GST 3B on 4th of May. Now, you can see the total delays day that is 13, and there will be the no interest. Now, in case two, if such taxpayer file the GST return 3B on dated on 28th of May, the total delays days comes to the 38, and the interest will be calculation. For the first 15 days there will be no interest, and the 9% will be interest for the next 23 days. Now, in case 3, if the such taxpayer filed a return on 20th of June, the total delay days come to 61. And again the interest will be calculated as follows. The first 15 days there will be no interest, but after 46 days there will be the 9% of interest. Now, case 4, if the such taxpayer filed the GST to be returned on 27th of June, the total delay days comes to the 68 days. Now, the lower rate of interest will not be applicable for such taxpayers because they are not making payment within the due dates. So, the full interest rate 18% will be applicable on 68 delays days. I hope it is clear to all of you.
Yeah. We are clear.
Now, moving into the next section, 80G, deduction under section 80G in respect of contribution to PM care funds. Uh, it was coming on the 31st of March. There is a press release. Yeah. So any corporate taxpayers or individual can claim these deductions if he or company make the payment towards the PM Cares Fund in between 31st March to 30th of June, and the 100% will be 100% deduction will be applicable as a donation as a deduction.
Okay.
Uh, Now this will be the corporate law compliance. Sir, you need to explain this one.
Yeah. Under the corporate law compliances, the government has also relaxed a lot of dates. Uh, so there was a scheme which came in, which is called LLP settlement scheme, wherein if we have not done any of the compliances, any of the filings for an LLP, uh, the document due for filing till 31st of March, if those are not filed, they have revised the due date to 30th of September. And similarly, with companies' fresh start scheme, the new revised date, that is till 30th of September, you can go and file without any penalty, and there is a full immunity from prosecution. So there is a relaxation in these two schemes also. Robin, if you go to the next slide.
Yeah, so that's all. That is from my end. So
Okay,
this is
okay, okay. So, so this is what we covered today. And as Tax Mantra, we are a global tax and legal firm based out of India, Singapore, and US, and these are our global delivery centers. And thanks for watching this webinar. This webinar basically covered all the compliances and the revised due dates for all the compliances. Uh, and we will again come with a new webinar. Till that time, thank you. I thank Robin also for structuring this webinar and explaining in detail. If you have any query, you can send a query to I just ping on the chat, or if you have any query right now, we can also answer. You can send your query to this email ID, and we will be more than happy to help you. Thank you. Thanks for joining in. Thanks, Robin.
thank you, sir.